So he had the priorities right last time. So the actual kill priority is still the same.
We do the fight correctly.
Correctly. Alright, so the actual strategy for this fight.
Cauldron.
There's the feast. There's cauldron.
Get all that. So, tanks, you guys have a lot of work to do. Whoever's going to be the main tank.
Not me. I'd prefer not to be me tonight. I mean, I can't. I just don't really know the fight, so.
We're going to kind of give you the overview right now. So, what's kind of going to go on? There's a bunch of ads. You can see all of them up right now. We all know the priority. We did really well with that last night. The if the hexers spawn a blood thing, that's highest priority. Hexers are next priority. We should be AoEing down the crags. If they get the full energy, they AoE everybody. If the blood hexers get the full energy, they spawn a blood, which becomes the highest priority target. When the crushers get the full energy, they buff everything around them. So primarily DPS, you guys want to make sure you're interrupting the blood hexers, AoEing the crags. On tanks, you need to make sure that the crusher gets moved away from everything when he gets close to full energy. So I'd say like 80. Just walk over to the side. I'll start giving you assignments on colors. Let him cast it, and then bring him back in so he can cleave damage. So essentially, one of you is going to run in there, get aggro on everything, and one of you is going to pick up the crusher. You can't actually take Zul until phase 2, so you kind of just leave him there. It's all about ads for the tanks. So you're going to taunt off the crusher, face him away for the raid, make sure everything's kind of stacked up so you can cleave and kill everything. If the crusher gets high damage, we need to move him away. And DPS, you need to focus on killing the hexer, because if he gets to 100% energy, he's going to spawn a blood and heal stuff, so we don't want that to happen either. So tanks, that's kind of what you're going to be doing in phase 1. I believe, I tried to watch the videos, if any of the other raid leaders can help me out on watching these things, I believe the hexers are going to spawn at orange and yellow primarily. That being said, there is going to be a moment in the fight, both here and in Heroic, where we're going to have 2 hexers, which means we need to CC one. Awaken, you've been tanking a lot in Mythics, you've been doing a great job, so if you could try to get the second hexer, which should spawn on our side of the room as we are now, just taunt him, make sure he doesn't move, and CC him. Anybody else can help Awaken with that. They are susceptible to almost all of CCs, so sheeps, stuns.
So do not DPS that one.
Do not DPS that one. We're gonna kill the other hexer. If our DPS is baller, we'll kill them both. If not, we'll kill the one that's not CC'd. The second one will probably spawn an ooze. We kill that, and then we kill the hexer, and then we go back to doing everything.
We are killing oozes before they get to Zul, by the way. That is the plan.
Oozes are the #1 priority of the fight at all times, and then again hexers, the crag should get AoE'd, and then the crushers. So, you can interrupt the hexers, they do a cast, we don't want that to happen. You can stun the crag guys, do all that because they do a lot of damage to the tanks. During phase 1, I believe it's 2 people in Heroic. I don't know if it's 2 people in Normal. I wasn't really paying attention to that because there was so much I was trying to figure out during the last pull. But you're going to get that debuff, the big fiery thing. You run out to the edge, then when you... Yeah, it's 1 in Normal then. So yeah, you'll run out to the edge like we were doing. Everybody's doing great with that. You wait for that to time out. When it times out, it does a burst of damage, which does more damage the closer you are to it. So if you see that going out, kind of move away, but generally you're going to be in the middle of the room. If you have the debuff when it times out, then you're going to spawn all those little purple shadowy guys. And everybody seems to be doing great with that. Priest dispels, if you're a blood elf, use your arcane torrent or whatever that is to dispel them, and they instantly die. Again, you can do single dispels, single purges. I know a couple DPS have that ability as well. Otherwise, range is going to take it out. But that didn't seem like it was a big problem.
We have 4 priests. It shouldn't be a big problem.
And for the most part, that's it for the DPS. The healers, you did a great job mass dispelling. That's kind of all you have to worry about other than general healing and keep people alive. So phase 1 is 100%. Don't let the ads get to 100% mana before they do bad things. Kill them. We're going to be doing a lot of cleave damage on Zul. The goal is to try to get Zul down as fast to 40% as fast as possible to move into phase 2. The reason for that is the more energy he has in phase 2, the more damage he does. And that's just more raid-wide damage he does, and we get the it just hurts the healers and it sucks for them.
Would it be worth to lust in phase 1 to get to phase 2
We're
first?
gonna lust right at the beginning to cleave all these guys down, so we get them all down at once, and then they're gonna trickle in, and we're gonna take care of them, so we can go ads, but right at the beginning we're gonna lust, kill all the ads at once, hopefully AOE them down.
Sorry, did you go over
Puddles.
leaving the crusher next to Zool?
Yeah, everything's
Until he gets high energy.
gonna be essentially tanked on Zool right at the beginning. The crusher, the tank, whoever's the one tank that's going to be tanking the crusher specifically points him away. When he gets up to, say 80 energy, move him to the edge of the platform, let him do his cast, and then move him back to Zol. That's probably the hardest thing for the tanks to do in this phase, other than just tanking all the stuff and running around like a chicken with their head cut off. But
Did you mention the puddles, or is that a heroic only mechanic?
that's phase 2 and normal. But yeah, so if there's any questions with phase 1, there's going to be. I want people to ask those questions because there's a lot going on in this fight. It's a lot of little easy things all together. So if anybody has a question about a specific thing, let's go over phase 1 first. Phase 1.
Yeah, quick question. That rupture in blood, does that pop on tanks as well? Like, well,
Is that the bleed effect, I believe?
yeah, they're.
Okay, yeah, I think that's phase 2. I didn't write down what they specifically were because I think you only have the one debuff. But
Gotcha. Okay.
alright, so in phase 2, at 40%, he's going to knock everybody back. So when he gets close to 40%, we're going to say 43%, start thinking about standing in the middle of the room, because as soon as he spawns into phase 2, he's going to knock everybody off. And if you're not in the center-ish area, you're going to get knocked off the platform. So get in the ring at minimum of this gold, I guess mostly square. Just be close to him.
Oh, we can post a question. Or typed.
There's going to be a time where there's going to be 2 Hexers up awakened. I believe, again, they spawn on yellow and orange. We're going to need the one of the tanks to pick up orange, and we're going to DPS that one. Otherwise, you're going to get the one on yellow and just CC it.
Alright, I'll just keep
Again,
an eye on yellow
anybody
then.
can help you CC it. What's that?
I'll just keep an eye on yellow then.
Yeah, again, I believe it's on yellow. If not,
There
just
might be
kind
a
of get this
timer.
side of the
A
room.
DBM timer.
There
Yeah,
is.
So purple, yellow, green. If he spawns anywhere on this side of the room, just get that one, and we'll DPS the other one.
I have one thing too.
Okay.
So you're gonna get Death Wish. Sorry, I've been in and out a little bit. But healers have to dispel Death Wish before you jump off the edge and die.
This is phase 2. We're going to go over phase 2 next.
Oh, okay,
so I'll
sorry.
go over phase 2 if anybody has questions with that, since you're
You can't
obviously looking into
dispel
these
them
things.
immediately, though.
Right. So 40%, he's going to knock everybody back. The tanks are going to pick him up, face him away from the raid. He's going to do a frontal cone. That frontal cone puts a bleed on you. The tanks, they're saying 3 stacks. I don't know how many you want to handle. It's going to be up to you and the healers, but we'll start with 3 here. If you get 4, you'll probably be okay. If you get 2, wait for the 3rd one. What that's going to do is going to put a bleed effect on you. That's obviously going to do more and more damage. You don't want to take too many. So at some point, you're going to have to do a tank swap. So at 3 stacks, you're going to do a tank swap. The tank that has the bleed's going to move back to Skull. That's where you're going to be. You're going to have to go over there when that debuffs or when that bleed times out. You're going to put a giant blob of red crap all on this platform. So you want to run out of that real quick, and then you're going to put the next one closer to orange and kind of just rotate counterclockwise around the room. So we can kind of stand on this side, and you guys, that's your mechanic in phase 2, is don't take too many stacks and then drop that bleed off on the side of the platform. For the DPS, there are those soaking circles. We've done this in 2 fights before. We've done it a crap ton on Mythic World Breaker. They're going to be here. You're going to have to soak them. You really only need 1 person to soak them. I don't think the damage is split, but healers need to understand that you're going to take a crap ton of damage. If it's myself or Demona, we can try to heal ourselves, use a defensive cooldown. It is normal, so again, this might be a little inflated, but you're going to take a lot of damage standing in it. If you don't stand in it, everybody's going to take a lot of damage. So it's something that needs to be soaked. The heroic mechanic is it spawns to the whole fight. In normal, we're only going to get it in phase 2. Again, you're going to have this Walk of Death. What that's going to do is it's going to basically go from the middle of the room, and you're going to pick the shortest distance off the edge. So if you're standing over by orange, you're going to walk off the edge over by orange. If you're standing over by green, you're going to walk off the edge over by green. That being said, the tanks are going to face him effectively towards Skull. So if you're close to the skull side of the room, you're going to walk through his frontal cone. You're going to walk into the tank shit that's going to be on the ground. Make sure you're closer to this side of the room so you walk off. I think, again, it's only one person. It might be two. So the priest, you guys can life grip people back. We want one person to go towards the edge. I'm going to assign Syl to do that. Syl, you're going to be the first person to grip. We don't want to have two people slowly walking out there. Once they get close to the edge, you dispel them. They're going to do raid-wide damage, and then they're going to drop more of those little shadow guys. So that's probably going to be the most complicated thing to worry about, is, you know, getting that person to the edge, letting them explode, and then killing those ads again. Otherwise, there's not going to be any other ads through phase 2. Healers can also soak the circles. The only way to get rid of that walk of death is going to be that dispel, and then again, mass dispels on those groups of little shadow guys. They're just like King's Rest. If they touch somebody, they're going to fear them. All these things are going to be bad. So that's the chaos of the fight. All a little bunch of little individual easy things, in my opinion, that make the fight difficult, which is just so much to look at. And that's kind of what we were missing last night. We did really well with all the ads, in my opinion. We did really well with the spells, all the debuffs. It was just, we need to cleave more.
We almost pushed them to phase 2, even.
Right, so now, you know, again, one tank's going to pick up all the ads. Another tank's specifically going to be looking for the crushers to keep them away from other ads when they get close to 100%. Otherwise, all ads are okay to be on the boss unless they get to 100%. If they start getting close to 100%, move them away from other ads, specifically the crusher. That's the worst one. Are there any other questions?
Cat, do you need an inhaler?
Are you okay?
I'm crying. Oh god.
Literally crying.
I mean,
I
you
love
explained
it.
it pretty well, but it's not that funny.
Composure.
This skill does not have any. What
Did
are
we
you
get a
talking
cauldron
about?
yet or no?
We did.
Yes.
We did.
I have a flask for you if you need one.
That'd be cool. I got the feast. That's all.
Where are you at? Can you
I got
open
one. Thank you. Alright. Did anybody have any specific question? Tank specifically, DPS specifically, healers, you're just going to have a harder time in phase 2 if we get too much energy.
Should
Do
see this
I
fight.
always have a heart attack?
Okay.
So-
So we're, again, Rennick, we're just going to go ahead and lust at the start. Blow your wads, AoE the shit out of everything, kill it all while it's there so we can move on. Oh, yeah, if you do get the fiery debuffs, try to go to green or purple so we know where you're going. So we can get the spells out and whatnot. And I think we're
Pretty
ready.
much. Just a quick question, Stanky. Phase 2, you tank them, but you said on the skull side?
Tank them kind of in the middle of the room facing the skull way, yes.
Gotcha.
And
Then,
then,
drop the buff
your-
over on the edge by skull.
From where we're standing now, kind of towards the left of skull and go counterclockwise would be my preference. Again, we can adjust to you, but that's kind of what we're going to try to start with. If that's too complicated, then let me know. We'll switch it up to make it more convenient for you, because that's... If you don't drop that near the edge, we're going to cover the room in that shit, and then we're going to lose. But so that's the biggest thing. That's a soft enrage.
When it's dropped on the edge, do you want the tank to drop it, go with the group behind, and then just do the swap?
They're trying so hard to focus on the raid.
I'm really
I
sorry.
got demoted to my own special rank called to change the name, and I'm locked out of G-chat. I can't even G-chat.
So tank him facing skull. The off tank at that
Raid
time,
said,
whoever's
"Viva
not
Las
tanking
Vegas!"
them will taunt
Guys,
off of
relax.
you, and then you
in our
take
secret
the debuff out to the
chat,
edge and
everyone's
just
like,
let it
"Viva
drop
Loris!
off.
Viva
Oh,
Loris!"
chill.
I don't think he knows his mic is.
He doesn't know his mouse.
Oh, you're right. Oh, yikes. Hi, guys.
Way to give up
Did
a
your
secret.
kid run away again
God damn it.
outside? I don't know.
Yeah, man, that's what happened. Sorry.
Let's do this shit, dude.
Let's do this shit.
Alright, let's do it. On Z tanks.
Professionalism. Love it.
I know.